What seasonal family challenge involving calculated danger seemed reckless until it built the courage that entrepreneurs need most? Every summer, our family created the Risk Portfolio, my NIAS, a structured courage building system where each member had to attempt increasingly difficult challenges, carefully documented and reviewed like financial investments that seemed dangerously irresponsible until it developed the calculated risk-taking abilities that venture capitalists now tell me separates successful entrepreneurs from the rest. The process began on the last day of school. We'd gather around the dining table with colored index cards and the official risk ledger. Each person would draft 20 potential challenges across 5 risk categories: physical jumping from higher diving boards, social speaking to strangers, creative performing publicly, intellectual mastering complex skills, and emotional expressing vulnerable feelings. Dad assigned risk ratings from 1-10 for each challenge, while mom calculated potential growth returns on a similar scale. The system's brilliance was the balanced portfolio requirement. You couldn't just maximize physical risks while avoiding social ones. By summer's end, each person needed challenges completed across all 5 categories. My sister specialized in creative and intellectual risks, pursuing painting exhibitions and complex math. My brother dominated physical and social challenges, attempting skateboard tricks and spontaneous public speeches. I balanced across categories but particularly invested in emotional risk assets, having difficult conversations that terrified me. What made this system particularly intense was the risk review sessions. Every Sunday evening, we'd present that week's completed challenges with evidence, photos, videos, witness statements. The family would evaluate outcomes, discussing what we learned, how we handled failure, and what we'd attempt differently next time. Successful challenges earned courage points that accumulated in our personal growth accounts. The most nerve-wracking element was the risk scaling requirement. If you successfully completed a level 4 challenge, your next attempt in that category had to be level 5 or higher. This forced continuous courage expansion rather than repeating comfortable risks. Friends thought our parents were completely irresponsible. Your dad is encouraging you to do scary things on purpose. They'd witness our family discussions about optimal risk-reward ratios and wonder what strange experiment they'd stumbled into. In college, while classmates hesitated to speak in seminars, try out for competitive programs, or approach industry leaders, I instinctively calculated risk-reward scenarios and acted decisively. My career advisor once remarked, "You have an unusual relationship with uncertainty. You seem to analyze it rather than fear it." During my first startup pitch, when investors grilled me about market unknowns, I calmly addressed each risk factor with contingency plans. One VC later pulled me aside. "Most founders get defensive about risks. You engage with them analytically. Where did you learn to do that?" Now leading a venture-backed company through uncertain markets, I use the exact risk assessment frameworks from those summer challenges. My executive coach recently asked how I developed such comfortable courage when facing massive business risks. I thought about our family risk portfolio reviews, dad asking 12-year-old me to quantify what I learned from a failed public speaking attempt, and realized those reckless summer challenges weren't endangering us. They were systematically inoculating us against the paralyzing fear that stops most people from pursuing extraordinary opportunities. My parents weren't being irresponsible. They were deliberately training us in the entrepreneur's most critical skill, the ability to take intelligent risks with incomplete information and learn rapidly from both success and failure.